curtains move, the window breathes. This room still wears your memory. Your coffee cup, your side of the bed. Little ghosts of the words we never said. I hear the floorboards call your name, like this house still thinks you'll come the same. But every corner, every frame feels different now that you're not mine to claim. I try to fill the hollow spaces, try to outwalk what remains. But even quiet changed around me when love became pain. When the silence learned your shape, it started holding me like you, in the shadows, in the doorway, in the things I cannot move. Now the night leans in and speaks with a voice that sounds like ache. I lost you once but lose you nightly. When the silence learned your shape. Your sweater sleeps across the chair, like you just left and left the air. I keep pretending time will heal what every midnight makes more real. The mirror knows the tired in my eyes. The moon knows all the reasons why I'm still collecting pieces of a love that broke but never died. I thought the hurt would fade to nothing, thought the dark would let me breathe. But every quiet hour keeps turning into what you leave. When the silence learned your shape, it started holding me like you, in the shadows, in the doorway, in the things I cannot move. Now the night leans in and speaks with a voice that sounds like ache. I lost you once but lose you nightly. When the silence learned your shape. Maybe healing comes in fragments, maybe letting go takes years, maybe love becomes an echo we keep hearing through our tears. And maybe I will wake one morning without your absence in the air. But tonight the quiet fits you perfectly, and I still find you there. When the silence learned your shape, it made a home inside my chest, where your laughter used to live. Now the sorrow comes to rest, and every dream I try to keep still dissolves before daybreak. I'm still here loving what is gone. When the silence learned your shape, so I lie beside the emptiness and listen to the room replay, the sound of us becoming nothing. When the silence learned your shape. The clock kept moving, but the dark stayed still, like even time had lost its will. Your side of the bed stayed cold and white, a quiet ache I could not hide. The moon hung low outside my room, like a new love had met its ruin. close my eyes to escape your name, but every dream still burned the same. I thought the dawn would come and save me, pull me from this hurt again, but grief kept all the curtains closed, and the night forgot to end. The night forgot to end. The moment you let go, it just kept pouring through my window like a pain I'll never know. No sunrise on this broken heart, no light to let me mend. I've been lost inside your memory since the night forgot to end. Your sweater's folded on the chair, still holding on to your perfume there. I should have packed the pieces up, but letting go is never enough. The silence leans against these walls. I hear your voice in every pause, and all the words we never said still circle softly in my head. I told myself that time would heal me, that wounds like this would learn to bend, but every hour feels just the same since the night forgot to end. The night forgot to end. The moment you let go, it just kept pouring through my window like a pain I'll never know. No sunrise on this broken heart, no light to let me mend. I've been lost inside your memory since the night forgot to end. Maybe some hearts break in slow motion, maybe some tears never dry, maybe love leaves part of itself in every last goodbye, and maybe morning waits somewhere beyond this blue-black ache, but right now all I have is you and every breath I take. The night forgot to end, but I still whisper through the dark, still tracing all the missing pieces of the wreckage in my heart. No sunrise, yet no peace tonight, just shadows I can't outrun. I'm still here, loving what is gone since the night forgot to end. So I awake beneath the silence where your memory always bends the edges of my lonely world, and the night forgot to end. There's a quiet in the doorway where your laughter used to fall, and the light comes through the curtains like it's searching through it all. Your picture leans against the mirror, your sweater's draped across the chair, and every little thing you touch still makes it feel like you are there. I try to clear the room around me, try to let the silence pass, but some loves don't leave in footsteps, they stay in what they last. Where your shadow still You're gone, but not completely. Not from these walls, not from my mind. I keep finding you in the dark, where your shadow still lives tonight. The bed is cold on your side now, but I still reach there in my sleep. And the clock keeps striking midnight, like a promise it can't keep. I hear your name in passing thunder. I see your face in window glass. I never knew what love could leave and still refuse to pass. I told myself that time would heal me, that the hurt would fade away. But grief wears your shape so gently, it never really strays. Where your shadow still lives, that's where my heart still stays. In the corners of this broken house, in the ache of empty days. You're gone, but not completely. Not from these walls, not from my mind. I keep finding you in the dark, where your shadow still lives tonight. Maybe healing is just learning how to breathe with what remains. Maybe love becomes a ghost light, softly glowing through the pain. And maybe one day I will walk through this house and feel set free. But tonight your shadow knows my name and keeps on haunting me. Where your shadow still lives, I still break and I still bend. Still loving all the pieces of a story that won't end. You're gone, but not completely. You still linger in the blue, and every night I lose myself, where your shadow still lives too. So I leave the hallway light on, though I know you won't walk in. I just sit with what you left me and let the night begin. You said my name so softly, like you were already gone. Your eyes were full of distance while I was holding on. The room went cold between us, the air turned thin and strange. And somewhere in the silence I felt everything change. I heard the words, but I still wasn't ready. I felt the break before it showed. You walked away with all our tomorrows and left me there alone. My heart stayed in the last conversation, still hanging on every word you said. Some part of me is frozen in that moment, still turning over what was left unsaid. You moved on with the night around you, but I'm still where your goodbye began. My heart stayed in the last conversation, and I've never been whole again. I replay every sentence, every look across your face, like maybe there's an answer hidden in that breaking place. Your chair is just an empty shade, your echo fills the room, and all the life we built together now blooms in quiet ruin. I told myself that time will make it lighter, the pain like this will lose its hold, but every memory leads me backward to the words that turn so cold. My heart stayed in the last conversation, still hanging on every word you said. Some part of me is frozen in that moment, still turning over what was left unsaid. You moved on with the night around you, but I'm still where your goodbye began. My heart stayed in the last conversation, and I've never been whole again. Maybe closure never comes for some of us. Maybe some doors close too slow. Maybe love can end in one short sentence and leave a lifetime of echo. So I sit with the sound of you leaving, with the tears I cannot explain. Because losing you was only the first cut, the rest was living with the pain. My heart stayed in the last conversation, where your voice still lingers in the dark. Every night I return to that table, to the silence, to the spark. You moved on with the dawn without me, but I'm still in that final stand. My heart stayed in the last conversation, still reaching for your hand. And if love ever finds me again, it'll have to pass through where I've been, through that room, through that ache, through the moment my whole world caved in. My heart stayed there with you in the last conversation. You spoke so softly, I almost missed the way forever left your lips. No thunder cracked, no picture fell, just one small silence I know too well. The window held the midnight still, the room went cold against my will. And in the pause before goodbye, I felt my whole world lose its light. I keep replaying how you said it, like I might find a reason there, but all I hear is love collapsing into empty air. In the space between your last words, that's when my heart still breaks. Somewhere between the truth and leaving, between the breath and ache, you were already gone before the silence. I was still begging time to stop. Now I live inside that moment, in the space between your last words. Your coffee cooled beside the lamp, shadow stretched across the floor. I wanted one more second with you, but seconds don't do that anymore. The night kept pressing at the curtains, the clock kept moving like a lie, and I was left to hold the pieces of a love that didn't survive. I tried to carry on like morning would come and make it all as hard, but dawn can't reach kind of hurting. You left in the dark, in the space between your last words. That's where my heart still breaks, somewhere between the truth and leaving, between the breath and ache. You were already gone before the silence. I was still begging time to stop. Now I live inside that moment, in the space between your last words. Maybe closure is a language some hearts never get to speak. Maybe goodbye can leave a wound that time only teaches us to keep. And maybe one day I'll remember without falling all apart. But tonight your voice is still a blade turning in my heart. In the space between your last words, I still hear everything we lost, every promise, every future, every line we couldn't cross. You were already walking toward the ending. I was still reaching through the dark. Now I wear that final silence like a scar across my heart. I'm still trapped inside that moment, in the space between your last words. So I lie awake and count the echoes of all the things we never were. Still loving you in all the silence between your last words. Your voice still lingers in the hallway, like it forgot the way to leave. Every word we left unspoken still finds its way to me. The window holds the fading twilight. The room remembers every breath. I never thought a quiet moment could feel so close to death. I tried to drown the sound of you in every passing day, but memories return like footsteps that never walk away. When love turned into echoes, your voice stayed in the air, calling through the empty spaces like you were still there. Now every night I hear you in whispers soft and slow, a heart that once was full of you now lives on echoes. Your jacket still hangs by the doorway, like you just stepped outside. But the silence tells the truth now of the tears I try to hide. I walk through rooms that knew your laughter, through walls that knew your touch, and every memory reminds me I still love you this much. I thought the past would fade away like shadows in the sun, but broken love keeps speaking long after it It never truly died. It just faded into distance where my lonely tears reside. And though the world keeps turning like it never had to break, I'm still here listening for you and every echo love can make. Your voice is gone, but somehow it never fully goes, because my heart keeps beating inside those quiet echoes. There's a quiet in this room tonight, but it doesn't feel like peace. It leans against the walls we knew and never really leaves. Your cup is still beside the sink, your name's still on my tongue, and all the air between these things feels heavier since you're gone. I thought losing you would look like silence, still and empty, cold and slow. But heartbreak has a way of speaking in a language only lonely knows. Your absence has a voice and it calls me in the dark, in the space beside the bed, in the crack inside my heart. It whispers through the midnight, says the things you never could, and every time I try to heal, it pulls me back for good. Your absence has a voice, and I hear it more than ever now. The hallway keeps your echo close, the mirror knows my pain. I see the tired in my eyes, and the ghost of us remain. I fold the nights around myself, but nothing keeps me warm since you left. Even memory feels like another storm. I keep pretending time is moving, that I'm not where you left me still. But every hour says your name in ways my heart can't kill. Your absence has a voice and it calls me in the dark, in the space beside the bed, in the crack inside my heart. It whispers through the midnight, says the things you never could, and every time I try to heal, it pulls me back for good. Your absence has a voice, and I hear it more than ever now. Maybe love doesn't end clean, maybe it lingers in the air. Maybe losing you means learning how to live with you not there. And maybe one day this ache won't be the first thing that I feel, but tonight it sounds like your goodbye, and I don't know how to heal. Your absence has a voice and it breaks me soft and slow, like a song I never wanted but somehow always know. It trembles in the silence, it rises when I'm alone, and though you're gone from my arms tonight, you still live inside this home. Your absence has a voice and my heart still answers you. There's a dent still in the mattress on the side where you would sleep. I reach across it every midnight, like love is something I can keep. Your jacket hangs beside the doorway, your picture leans against the wall, and every quiet thing around me still feels like it remembers all. I thought the hurt would lose its color, fade like rain against the street, but some won't stay warm forever in the places they used to be. The place your hand used to be still burns against my skin tonight, like you just slipped away a moment, like I could still make this right. But all I hold is air and memory, all I touch is what we used to mean, and my whole heart still breaks around the place your hand used to be. I still fold your name in whispers when the dark gets hard to fight. I still wear the weight of missing, like a coat through every night. The room is full of faded echoes of words we never got to say, and every dream I have of us now ends beside an empty space. I told myself I'd stop returning to what's already gone from me, but grief has its own way of living in the smallest vacancy. The place your hand used to be still burns against my skin tonight, like you just slipped away a moment, like I could still make this right. But all I hold is air and memory, all I touch is what we used to mean, and my whole heart still breaks around the place your hand used to be. Baby, love leaves quiet traces, not in words but in the touch. Maybe losing you was learning how absence can still hurt this much, and maybe one day I'll stop reaching for a warmth that isn't there. But tonight I'm still unraveling in the ghost of your care. The place your hand used to be feels colder than the morning light, still aching with the shape of you, still lonely every night. No goodbye could ever empty what you left inside of me. I'm still here holding on to the place your hand used to be. So I'll lie awake beside the silence and let the shadows speak your name, because even now, without you, love, nothing here feels changed. The curtains move with evening wind, like they're waiting for you again. Your shadow used to cross this floor at 10:30, like it did before. The lamp still glows beside the bed where we shared the words we said, but now the light just fills the space where love once lived in your embrace. I thought the world in a room that still knows you. Your book is resting on the table, halfway through the stories, and I never moved a page you left, like you might come back again. The mirror holds the tide in my eyes, the window keeps the night so blue, and every quiet step I take still echoes back to you. I told myself that time would change the way these memories move, but grief has learned the shape of you and everything you used to do. This is a room that still knows you. Every picture, every chair, every breath of midnight silence feels like you're still there. Though you're gone beyond these walls now, beyond the life we once went through, my heart keeps breaking softly. Maybe love leaves quiet fingerprints on the air and on the light. Maybe hearts remember longer than the turning of the night. And maybe one day I will walk through this room without your name, but tonight the silence speaks it just the same. This is a room that still knows you, and it holds what I can't hide. All the laughter, all the promises we left behind inside. Though the world outside keeps moving, though the dawn will break in two, I'm still here with every memory, in a room that still knows you. The lamp burns low beside the bed. The night is deep and blue, and even now the silence breathes like it remembers you. The hallway holds the evening still, like time got lost and never moved. Your sweater hangs behind the door, like some small part of you still do. The coffee's cold, the window's dim, your side of the bed is winter now. I never knew a love could leave and leave the whole house emptied out. I light a lamp against the silence, but shadows always find their way, and every room I walk through whispers what my heart can't say. Where the warmth went missing, that's where I still remain. In the space your arms once held me, in the echo of your name. You left more than just silence, you left a cold I can't outrun. Now I'm living in the after of a love that came undone. I'm still searching through the dark, where the warmth went missing. The nearest show the tired stranger, trying hard not to fall apart. I wear your memory like midnight, my chest and heart, I still hear your laughter fading at the edges of each room. And every promise we once made now blooms into quiet ruin. I told myself that time would heal me, that hurt like this would lose its flame. But every night the cold comes closer and calls me by your name. We're the warmth when missing, it's where I still remain. In the space your arms once held me, in the echo of your name. You left more than just silence, you left the cold I can't outrun. Now I'm living in the after of the love that came undone. I'm still searching through the dark, where the warmth when missing. Maybe love raves in slow motion, maybe hearts don't break at once. Maybe losing you was learning how to breathe with half a pulse. And maybe one day dawn will reach me, maybe I will find it through. But tonight I'm still beneath the ache of all I couldn't keep from you. With the warmth when missing, I still feel your ghost in me, like a fire gone from the fireplace, but smoke that never leaves. You left more than empty evenings, you left a winter in my bones. Now I hold the cold you gave me, like it's all I've ever known. I'm still standing in the ashes, where the warmth when missing. So I hear with this silence, let the dark say what it must. Because love may have stopped burning, but I still feel the dust. And every night I close my eyes and pull back to what's gone cold, to where the warmth went missing and took my heart along. The sky was quiet that morning, nothing warned me of the fall. Your voice was calm but distant, like you were already gone. You said the words so gently, like they wouldn't break my chest, but every syllable shattered the life we once called ours. I watched the future leave your eyes, fade like a dying flame. And in the silence that followed, nothing was the same. There was a day my heart lost its direction, the moment love slipped out of you. Every road I footstep faded down the hallway, but the echo never did. It stayed inside the quiet places where our laughter used to live. Your sweater still holds your perfume, your picture still holds your smile, but every little thing you left just hurts me for a while. I told myself that time would help me, the pain would slowly bend, but every night I find myself back where the hurt began. That was the day my heart lost its direction. A moment love slipped out of you. Every road I knew stopped leading anywhere close to you. I've been wandering through the memories, through every promise we once kept, since the day my heart lost its direction and you were the road I left. Maybe some hearts keep searching for a place they used to be. Maybe love leaves a compass that only points to memory. And maybe someday I'll find a path that doesn't lead to you. But tonight I'm still lost in everything we used to do. That was the day my heart lost its direction when your goodbye took all the light. Every dream we built together vanished in that night. Now I'm walking through the silence where your voice once gently crept, since the day my heart lost its direction and my soul got left where you left. So I follow fading footprints through the life we once knew, but every road I take now still somehow leads to you. The morning came but not with mercy, just pale light falling through the blinds. Your picture caught the early silence, like it was waiting there for mine. The cup you left beside the sink still feels warmer than this room tonight. I never knew that love could vanish and leave the air without its light. You said goodbye without a warning, so soft I barely heard it break. But something in me felt forever in the silence you made. Now I live in the quiet after your eyes, after the way they used to find me, after the light that made this whole world feel less empty, less lonely. You left and all the colors faded, all the stars forgot to shine. Now I'm just learning how to breathe in the quiet after your eyes. Your sweater hangs there like a memory that doesn't know it should be gone. I touched the sleeve and for a moment I can pretend you're not moved on. The hallway keeps your echo hidden, the mirror holds a stranger's face. I search darkened room still keeps me with the ghost of what we had. Now I live in the quiet after your eyes, after the way they used to find me, after the light that made this whole world feel less empty, less lonely. You left, and all the colors faded, all the stars forgot to shine. Now I'm just learning how to breathe in the quiet after your eyes. Maybe love leaves more than heartache. Maybe it leaves a kind of you, a way of seeing all the world that only ever makes sense with you. And maybe one day I'll stop searching for your reflection in the rain. But tonight the dark still wears your shadow and calls me by your name. So I live in the quiet after your eyes, where every memory still burns blue, where even all this broken silence still somehow looks like you. You left, but part of me stayed with you. Somewhere between goodbye and time, now I'm just a heart still beating in the quiet after your eyes. The morning comes, the room stays heavy, and I let another teardrop fall, because love is gone, but your gaze still lingers in the quiet after all. You were standing in the kitchen when your silence changes tone. The air went still around the light, and somehow already knew. Your hands were shaking at your sides, but mine were reaching out in vain. I watched the distance fill your eyes before you even said my name. I thought forever had a heartbeat, something steady, something true. But all at once it turned to breaking in the room between me and you, where forever fell apart. That's where I still remain, in the wreckage of your goodbye, in the echo of your name. We built a life with tender hands, then watched it all go dark. breaking softly, long after they can't go back. And maybe one day I'll stop searching for your shadow in the blue. But tonight I'm still holding pieces of a world that ended with you, where forever fell apart. I still hear us in the dust, in the frames and in the floorboards, in the memory of our touch. You left with all our tomorrows and took the safest part of my heart. Now I'm just learning how to live where forever fell apart. So I lie awake with midnight and let the silence do its part, because some wounds never close when forever falls apart. You stood there with your hands half open, like you were holding back the end. Your eyes were full of something breaking, but not one word would let me in. The room was dim, the clock kept moving, like nothing sacred was about to die. And in that silence I could feel it, a love too hurt to say goodbye. I waited for the truth to find me, for one last reason I could keep. But all you gave was quiet sorrow and a wound too deep. It was the weight of an unspoken goodbye, heavy as the dark before the rain. You never said the words out loud, but I still felt them fall the same. Now every night I carry what you couldn't bring yourself to say, and my heart keeps breaking slowly under the weight of an unspoken goodbye. Your coffee cooled beside the window, your jacket stayed there on the chair, like part of you was still undecided, like love was somehow lingering there. I walked the hallway after midnight, listened for a change of heart, but all I heard was my own breathing and the sound of us falling apart. I told myself that silence meant there might still be something left to say, but silence can be crueler than the truth we're too afraid to say. It was the weight of an unspoken goodbye, heavy as the dark before the rain. You never said the words out loud, but I still felt them fall the same. Now every night I carry what you couldn't bring yourself to say, and my heart keeps breaking slowly under the weight of an unspoken goodbye. Maybe some endings don't need the whole world shook. And maybe one day I'll stop wondering what you were too afraid to tell. But tonight I'm still beneath the echo of a farewell that never fell. It was the weight of an unspoken goodbye. Still pressing on my chest tonight. No final kiss, no final warning. Just the slow loss of your light. You left without a sentence, but your silence drew the line. Now I live with all the hurt you left behind. So I lie awake with the memory and let the quiet say its part. Because the hardest kind of leaving is the one that never speaks, but still tears through the heart. We held on long after the breaking, like two shadows scared of the dawn, smiling through the quiet damage, pretending nothing was wrong. Your cup was warm there on the table, but your touch had already changed. I felt the distance in your silence before I knew its name. We were still saying I love you when it no longer felt the same. Still standing in the fire, calling it a flame. We were a love that stayed too late. Two hearts past saving, still afraid, holding on to what was dying, begging it not to fade. Now I'm left with all the pieces of the promise we couldn't make. You and I were beautiful once, just a love that stayed too late. The hallway knew before we did it. The bed grew colder every night. Your eyes still looked in my direction, but they no longer held the light. We kept wearing out the same words, turning circles in the dark, trying to find our way back home. With empty hands and tired hearts. Maybe we were scared of ending, scared of who we'd be apart. So we let forever drag us through the ruins of our hearts. We were a love that stayed too late. Two hearts past saving, still afraid, holding on to what was dying, begging it not to fade. Now I'm left with all the pieces of the promise we couldn't make. You and I were beautiful once, just a love that stayed too late. And maybe if we let go sooner, we could have kept the good alive, kept one soft part of us unbroken, kept the tenderness inside. But love can turn to quiet sorrow when goodbye comes far too slow. And by the time we face the truth, there was nowhere left to go. We were a love that stayed too late, a song still So here I am with all this silence and all the words we could not say. Still loving what had already gone, a love that stayed too late. We stood beneath a silver sky with tears we didn't want to show. Your hands were cold inside of mine, like they had already let me go. The night was still, the wind was soft, but something broke without a sound. And in your eyes I saw the truth. Our love was falling to the ground. You tried to speak, I turned away, afraid of what your voice would say. The stars were there but none could save the last of us we could not keep. When the moon witnessed us ending, it covered us in quiet light. You were leaving, I was breaking, and neither one of us could fight. The sky kept all the words we wasted. The dark held every tear descending. Love died slowly in your shadow when the moon witnessed us ending. Your silence cut me deeper than 1,000 cruel and final words. I felt the distance in your breath before goodbye was earth. The road behind us disappeared like we were never meant to stay. And all the dreams we used to hold became ghosts that drifted away. I wanted time to stop right there, to keep your heart from going bare. But heaven watched us come undone and did not turn the night around. When the moon witnessed us ending, it covered us in quiet light. You were leaving, I was breaking, and neither one of us could fight. The sky kept all the words we wasted. The dark held every tear descending. Love died slowly in your shadow when the moon witnessed us ending. Now every midnight feels the same. Oh, your missing name. I talk to shadows on the wall, still waiting for your footsteps call. But moon return and nights go by, and you are still the reason why my heart still aches in silence for a love that said goodbye. When the moon witnessed us ending, it saw my world lose all its flame. You kept walking through the darkness, and I still whisper out your name. The stars above me keep on burning, but mine went out that night unending. I lost forever still shines above. On the night I lost me and you. You held my hand like nothing changed, like love was still alive. Your voice was soft, your eyes were tired, but still I stayed beside. The room was full of quiet pain we felt but never showed. And in that small and fragile night I knew you'd let me go. I tried to keep the feeling near, like I could stop the end. But even with you next to me, I could not reach you then. That was the last warm moment before your love turned cold. The final breath of something beautiful I couldn't hold. You were there but slipping, like light from the evening skies. And I was breaking slowly, right in front of your eyes. That was the last warm moment before we fell apart. The last time love still lived a little inside your heart. Your fingers shook when you touched mine, like you were saying goodbye. Without a single spoken word, without a reason why. I memorized the way you look, the sadness in your face, because I knew that after that there'd be nothing left to say. I wanted time to lose its way, to leave us where we were. But silence came between our hearts and made the ending sure. That was the last warm moment before your love turned cold. The final breath of something beautiful I couldn't hold. You were there but slipping, like light from evening skies. And I was breaking slowly, right in front of your eyes. That was the last warm moment before we fell apart. The last time love still lived a little inside your heart. Now every night feels colder than I have ever known. I reach across the emptiness and only touch alone. I still go back inside my mind to that one fading spark, the final little bit of us before it all went dark. That was the last warm moment, the last soft place to stay, before your arms became a memory. You held my hand like nothing changed, like love was still alive. Your voice was soft, your eyes were tired, but still I stayed beside. The room was full of quiet pain we felt but never showed. And in that small and fragile night, I knew you'd let me go. I tried to keep the feeling near, like I could stop the end. But even with you next to me, I could not reach you then. That was the last warm moment before your love turned cold. The final breath of something beautiful. I couldn't hold, you were there, but slipping like light from evening skies. And I was breaking slowly right in front of your eyes. That was the last warm moment before we fell apart. The last time love still lived a little inside your heart. Your fingers shook when you touched mine, like you were saying goodbye. Without a single spoken word, without a reason why. I memorized the way you look, the sadness in your face, because I knew that after that there'd be nothing left to say. I wanted time to lose its way, to leave us where we were, but silence came between our hearts and made the ending sure. That was the last warm moment before your love turned cold. The final breath of something beautiful. I couldn't hold, you were there, but slipping like light from evening skies. And I was breaking slowly right in front of your eyes. That was the last warm moment before we fell apart. The last time love still lived a little inside your heart. silence like a song. I knew the hurt behind your eyes. I stayed even when your heart was gone, still calling it love through all the lies. You held me close but not the same, like something in you had already moved. And I kept trying to warm the space while losing pieces of the truth. I felt you fading day by day, but I still begged my heart to stay. The loneliest part of loving you was loving you at home, holding on this ghost hands, all feeling you let go. You were still beside me, but farther than before. And baby, little I love you. It don't sound like yours anymore. The loneliest part of loving you was needing you this much, while standing in your shadow without your touch. I talk to memories every night, like they could bring you back to me. I chased your name through sleepless dark and wish for what could never be. You left in ways I couldn't see before you ever said goodbye. And I was the last one holding us under a slowly dying sky. I tried to fix what I could feel, but broken hearts don't always heal. The loneliest part of loving you was loving you alone, holding on with both hands, all feeling you let go. You were still beside me, but farther than before. And every little I love you didn't sound like yours anymore. The loneliest part of loving you was needing you this much, while standing in your shadow without your touch. Now your side of the bed stays cold, your voice still echoes in my mind. And all the dreams we used to hold got left somewhere behind. I gave you all the tender parts, you left me with the pain. Now I keep hearing your name, like a soft unending rain. The loneliest part of loving you was I still do. Midnight breeze through the quiet room. Your shadow lingers in the blue. Your chair is empty by the door, but I still glance there every night, like you might walk in softly and bring the missing light. Your name still lives in whispers inside the walls we knew, and every silent heartbeat still turns around for you. I where my heart still waits for you. In the quiet after midnight, every dream still leads me back into your light. I know you're not beside me, but love refuses to forget. Where my heart still waits for you is where it's always been. But love won't walk away. Where my heart still waits for you. In the quiet after midnight, every dream still leads me back into your light. I know you're not beside me, but love refuses to forget. Where my heart still waits for you is where it's always been. Maybe somewhere far away, you remember us sometimes. Maybe love still lingers between the silent lines. And if you ever turn around through the dark you left behind, you'll find my heart still waiting where you left it that night. Where my heart still waits for you. Through every passing season, through every lonely evening, searching for a reason. I know the world keeps turning, but mine has not moved yet. Where my heart still waits for you is where our love still rests.